Stephanie here with Years of Ears, and it is this day in Disney for July 16th. And to start off, we're going way back to 1927 for the very last Alice comedy. This was the 56th and final Alice comedy. It was called Alice in the Big League, and it previewed in Los Angeles and then was released a month later. So right off the bat, I'm gonna let you know I couldn't find a video of this online anywhere. I was able to find some pictures of Alice at the time, but there's no video, which is kind of sad because it's the last Alice comedy, and I think it'd be really cool for us to be able to check it out and compare it with what would be taking place in the near future. But to my knowledge, we can't watch it unless you guys know that there's a way to watch this comedy. Please let me know in the comments. But in this Alice attempts to umpire a big league baseball game, and where the animals in this big league game began to take exception to her umpiring and her bad calls, and they really had enough of her, which is very interesting. And by the end of the short, as I read online, they actually chased her, all the angry animals form a mob and chase Alice away. So kind of like interesting. It's like maybe people were kind of getting tired of Alice comedies. Maybe even the animators with Walt Disney were tired of doing them as well, and were kind of chasing Alice away. I'm not really sure, but it could be that way. So many of the characters also in this film look like Oswald. Just different variations of Oswald, not exactly like him, but definitely some variations. And it's clear that the animators were ready to move on and do something new. So Oswald, the first Oswald cartoon, Trolley Troubles, actually premiered on September 5th of 1927, so of the same year. So they were obviously having ideas about Oswald, wanting to do Oswald cartoons and move on from the Alice comedies. So, you know, that's how things are sometimes. You have a contract, you're going to get something done, but you're ready to move on. So I get that. And luckily so, because we get Oswald, and of course Oswald leads to our great pal Mickey. Next up on this day in Disney in 1997, it's actually Buena Vista Pictures releases the live action comedy George of the Jungle. So this movie is inspired by the cartoon of the same name, which is really a spoof on Tarzan. And I'm not gonna lie, our family really liked this movie. I hope that's not embarrassing to admit, but I've probably seen it many times. And it was a fun cast, and we just found it funny, to be honest. We enjoyed watching it. It starred Brendan Fraser as George and Leslie Mann as Ursula Stanhope. So she's the wealthy heiress in the film, and she happens to have a treacherous fiance, Thomas Haden Church, which is his character is Lyle Vandegroot. And of course, he does not like George very much because, you know, there's obviously a relationship forming between George and Ursula. And then John Cleese is the ape. And I think this is what really made the movie for me, at least, is he is so funny as ape, and I enjoy all his jokes. I could watch it again, honestly. It just cracks me up. But he's a well-educated talking Eastern gorilla who is, of course, George's best friend. And I like that too, because even though he's super well-educated and, you know, has like a totally opposite character of George. He really is his best friend and would probably do anything for him, so it's kind of cool. So interesting, the large gorillas that lived with George were all provided by Jim Henson Studios and the Creature Shop. They meticulously were trained in gorilla behavior, so that's why those gorillas look so real, right? A lot of fun. So we enjoyed this film. Have you seen it? If you haven't, hey, this is a fun one to watch if you've got nothing to do. Go watch George of the Jungle. It'll be fun. And I don't know if you've gotten through some of those 56 Alice comedies. I've seen some of them as well as the ones that we've talked about, but keep trudging along. They're not all there, obviously, as we learned today, but they're a lot of fun. So that's it for this day in Disney. We'll see you next time. Bye!